Okay, Katis, let's go again.
Okie dokie. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kattis Gullberg. I live in Sweden, working as a doctor secretary, and are in AE since some month now. And we are now listening to Jason Burden, who is also in Sweden and has been in this industry for over 20 years. So I just lent the microphone over to you, Jason.
Thanks very much, Katis. Welcome, everybody. Welcome all new members. Well, our responsibility here at Money Working for You is to make sure that you get the best start possible. And, you know, you've probably been introduced to AI marketing by one of our leaders. A lot of them have got a lot of experience, and they also want to make sure that you get started correctly. Unfortunately, right now, we can't register you directly into AI marketing because at the moment, AI marketing is very busy fixing some things with the website and making some major upgrades to the website. So we will have something better to work with in the future. We haven't got the actual date, but I'm pretty sure it will all be back up and running very, very soon. But the thing is, we've got a beautiful window of time for the brand new people that you can start getting educated and learning the basics and starting to do some sort of work until the date of when you can actually just get registered and get in action, okay? Because instead of just waiting for that date, we would like you, you know, if you see the possibility of making that really nice passive income that you can get from AI marketing, is really worth just starting to take the time to educate yourself properly, okay? So first of all, decide what you want. You know, if you're a person that just wants to be passive, you don't plan on talking to anyone, that is fine. You are completely welcome, totally welcome. We will also treat you the same way as we would anybody else that is going to put lots of people in. You are very, very important to our teams anyway, because the team is built up by many different types of people that have different types of interest. So for you as an investor, all you basically need to do is register, and you will get a link from the person who invited you, and then you just need to fund your robot with some money so the robot has something to work with. If you want to build a team, it's a little bit of a different story, because when you're building the team, there's certain success habits that you need to learn, and we recommend that you listen to the team that knows how to get results, okay? There's two ways of building a team. You know, you can build it on your own, and I sort of say that's by trial and error, or you can get connected to a team that knows how to get results, and you just copy what they do, okay? It's much, much easier. So for an investor, you know, the good thing is with AI marketing is you don't just have to have one account. You can have multiple accounts. You know, a lot of businesses like this, you're normally only allowed one account, and that sort of limits you. But if you're an investor, you can have more than one account. And also, even if you are a person that wants to build the team, you can have more than one account. But also, you don't have to have multiple accounts. You know, you can just start with one account, and you're still going to make a really, really nice income, even with one account working properly. Okay, so the option is yours. You can choose. I do recommend, though, that when you actually do register, you are going to be part of someone else's team. And if you give them your referral link, they will also have a goal to build underneath you. So if they have your link, they can also register people they know directly underneath you. Okay, decide how much money you want to invest. Well, you know, it all depends what you want from this thing, and it also depends on what your financial background is. Okay, not everybody in the world is in exactly the same position, but it doesn't mean that you have to miss the train just because you might be in a country where, you know, $200 is a lot of money, right? You know, if you're in the Philippines or the India or Africa or Mexico or something, you know, if I said, well, it's going to cost you $200 to get started, you'll go, whoa, that's a lot. Okay, and maybe you make the decision not to do this. Well, we do have a, if you look on the left-hand side, you can start with the minimum of $10 and just work your way up. But I highly recommend that you speak to the person who invited you so you can work out a financial plan exactly that works with your budget. Okay, you don't need to miss out on the opportunity just because you're starting at a little bit of a lower number, because everybody can build up to it. And of course, if you're in other countries where $200 is very easy to come by, that's what we recommend. Because when you put $200 in one of these robots, you don't really have to go back to it so much, because it's just enough money to make sure that robot doesn't stop. Okay, but we have films that explains this more in our education system. Begin with the end in mind. What do you want from this? This is the type of business that if you decide what you want in the future, you can make it happen. But what I always recommend is that you decide a certain amount of time, maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 1 year, that you want to replace your salary. And then be in control, buy back your time, say goodbye to the boss. But when you know the time and you sit down with someone or come on Zoom with someone that knows how to structure goals, we can come back all the way to today and then help you set monthly goals all the way up to the time when you actually want to achieve your goal. Okay, so always begin with the end in mind. Well, we want to make sure that you are put in the right direction straight away. So we have a Facebook group called Money Working for You, and we would like to give you the right environment so you can meet other like-minded people like yourself and get around the basic education that can start teaching you how to get involved with the business and build the structures correctly. So once you're in the Facebook group, you can also ask your upline for moneyworkingforyou.com. And actually, you can just write that in yourself. If you want to write that down now, you can, because that's the link that will give you full access to how to build the structures correctly. And also there's a whole entire library about how to use AI marketing properly. Okay, that all the films are there for your use. And we do not charge any money for that website, and we never will. The reason it's free is because we want to create equal opportunity so anybody in the world can afford to get educated. Okay, that's why it's free. You will make your money by AI marketing. Watch all the getting started films. When you first log into Money Working for You, there's a blue button. You just scroll down and you click on it, and it will take you to the first steps. And that is the first steps of our system. And what we've noticed is that when people are following the system, the money in their AI marketing businesses just starts to go up and up and up and up. The ones that aren't watching the films and duplicating the system, their businesses are small. Okay, so that part is just a choice. Number 4, fill in the papers. There's some papers in there you can print off. These papers are designed to open your mind a little bit, help you get dreaming again, get some proper goal structure, and to understand the journey. And then I highly recommend you get together with an executive pro leader. This is a person that has built the business to a certain level, a very important level in the Money Working for You system, using the AI marketing business. They know what they're talking about, and you are meeting someone that day that can really help you go from where you are now to where you want to be within the first 30 days. So that is what I recommend your first 5 steps are. The next step is to write down people you know. Even if you are not registered yet, you can work on this. Okay, because when you start to work on your name list, you will start to realize that, hang on a minute, this could work for me. A lot of people, they can make a mistake. Well, they think, right, who will be interested in this business? And I'm going to stop you there instantly. You need to write down every person you know and then send them the film. We have a plan film, and you send them the film and let them decide for themselves whether they want to join you or not. For example, what gives me the right to decide whether my friends would be interested in increasing their financial freedom or future? I don't have that right, and I certainly don't know if they would be interested. So I highly recommend take your telephone and you write down every person you know and try and get that list to 100 people on the list. You have time to do that before you even get registered with AI marketing. We will also set a goal. Normally we set this goal when people are registered, but I think this can still be done because this page you can still print off from the website. And this is the most major goal, most important goal that we have. It's like Lego. It's the first building block. You know, if you see Lego, we get a little manual, don't we? And it's got a beautiful picture of a car or something on the first page. And it says put one brick to the next brick. And if you keep going through the pages, by the time the end of the book, it should look like the picture on the front page if you followed the instructions. This is exactly the same. Your upline executive pro leader can sit with you or go on a Zoom meeting and explain this goal properly with you. But all you need to do, because you can't register yet, you can still talk to prospects. You can still send the film out. And when they say to you, yes, I would really would like to have a position, I would really like to have a place in the network, you would write down their name on this piece of paper with their email address, and that would be their position. And then you need to just say to Sam, you say, Sam, I will get back to you as soon as we've got the all clear from AI marketing that you can get registered. And then you go to the next person, and then John decides that he wants to be in, then Robert decides. Because what happens is you are building the structure on paper. And the second that AI marketing gives us the thumbs up, it could be in a week, it could be 2 weeks, that everything's good to go, we can then help you get all of your new members registered in a couple of hours, and your business is on its way. Okay. Also get help with from your upline, because when you do register, when you actually do register, we work with WhatsApp chats. And the reason why we have a WhatsApp chat is because we need to keep control of the referral links as we're building down. So when you do register, you will automatically be registered to one power team. You can see that this link was used to register John, and John's links was, John's link was used to register Caitlin. But because we're talking about 3 teams in a pro leader, you need another WhatsApp chat and another WhatsApp chat for leg 2 and leg 3. I always write in what their goal is in that leg, in those 2 organizations as well. But this will be explained a lot more detail when you have a close connection with at least a pro leader or an executive pro leader upline. We have certain business habits. Okay, you know, when you went to school, they drummed it into us for about 10 to 15, 20 years about how important it was to get good grades and get a good job. But that set us up to rent our time for money for the rest of our life. Here we have different business habits that we need to learn here. So first of all, we need to show our business on a consistent basis. You know, we don't show my film, we don't show the planned film twice a year, because you're not putting the odds in your favor. But when you show, if you're a person sending out one film to one person a day, it's not going to take your whole day to send one film, but it still means that 30 people in 1 month have seen your business that you're about to build, or you are actually building. So the key here, number 1 key, is consistency. Number 2, follow a system. Well, that basically means when you have someone that is interested and they say, what do I do? Well, you can either sit there and explain everything yourself. If you're an expert, you can sit there and explain everything yourself, and the story will be slightly different because it's your way of doing it. Or you could, maybe you've only registered last night and you don't know what to say. It's really easy to recommend that they start looking at the films in moneyworking4u.com. Anybody can say that. So what do I do? Well, you need to look in moneyworking4u.com and just start watching the Getting Started films. Number 3, help people get started right. That means get back with them within 48 hours and make sure they've got the link for MONEYWORKING4U system so they know what to do. Communicate with the people that you just have shown the plan to. Number 4, duplicate. This is completely the opposite of having a job, because when you go to a job, you are told to go to work on your own. You're not allowed to bring all your friends, are you? The boss doesn't like it very much when you turn up with all your mates, because your salary is not based on what they do. So here, your salary is based on what you do plus what your team does. So we need to do something called duplication. It basically means you never ever work alone. If we've got a Zoom meeting, it's like you can see what's happened here. You know, a few leaders are having a meeting, and what they do, they invite their whole group so they can see as well. That way your whole entire team is getting educated. They're starting to see the same, you know, they're starting to understand the same business winning success language. Number 5 and number 6 is all about your education, your personal growth. You need education to build this business correctly. Simple as that. We don't ask you to go to university. We just ask you to do a few slight changes. And I highly recommend that you just read 15 minutes every single day of recommended books. If you're not sure what the books are, you can send me a message and I will gladly send you the book list so you can get started. But 15 minutes a day is life-changing, because it's actually around 12 books a year. It changes how you think, it changes how you build your business, and the more you can think like a leader, the more you can think like an entrepreneur, your business will be bigger. Listening to positive audio is very, very important. Why? Because we all have that little inner voice that never ever shuts up. Every time we have a great idea, a smart idea, it always kicks in and says, no, you can't do it. Always holds us back for some reason. But when you're listening to positive audios all the time, that little voice gets quieter and quieter, and you are able to focus on your goals for your future. Okay. Number 7, be a team player. We are building teams of people. How have you ever seen anyone trying to play tennis on their own? It'd be really funny, actually, if you think about it, if you really think about it, and it would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? It's much easier when you've got a team. It's like if you're having a game of football and 6 of the players or 5 of the players don't turn up, how are they going to do on that day? We build things together as a team. So in our industry, 80% of success is just turning up. We have a film about this in Money Working for You, but I'm going to explain it if you've never, ever done it before. You're joining a team with experience, okay? You do not know everything about this team, even if you're an expert or you've been around for this a long time. You don't know anything about your upline team yet. So I suggest you make a good connection with your upline team. You need to learn about them, learn who they are, learn their experience, because it's very powerful if you know who they are and what they do and what their experience is, because you can talk to your downline teams about your team. Because your team, this is very important, your team needs to know where you get your knowledge from. Simple as that. And when you first start, as a brand new person, the only thing that you're going to need to do is you need to register your first 3 people into your first team. We call this your education team. This is where you can do all your learning, but you're learning as you're earning. Okay, I like that saying, earn as you learn, because when you put the first 3 people in, you're working with a team that has a goal to build 50 deep underneath you. That is exciting, watching your own asset grow, working with a team that knows how to get results. And when your confidence is starting to grow, it starts to light a fire underneath. You know, you're building, your first goal is to build 10 deep, you're getting excited, you're starting to earn some money, and all of a sudden it's 10 deep. At this point, you can then start to think about, okay, well, I want to earn those bigger bonuses from AI marketing. I can now take my knowledge that I've learned on building the teams correctly. I can now start my second team and my third team, so I can start picking up those bigger bonuses from AI marketing, okay? Because those bonuses are huge. They are huge, and they are worth learning properly from team 1, so you can start team 2 and team 3 and start driving down. So same process happens again, and when you've got one leg 10 deep, the second team is 5 deep, and the third team is 3 deep, you will become a pro leader. That is a pro leader level, and on this journey we will find a few people that also become core. Remember the core success habits? These are very, very important people that we find on the journey. Not everybody in the team will become core. It's only a few of them. But I tell you what happens from it. It creates duplication. Because remember, I said, if you can send 1 film a day to a prospect, so you're not overworked. I don't want you to be overworked, guys, on your way to financial freedom. 1 film a day. And then you find 1 other person that says, yes, I can follow those 7 crazy little habits and have a goal and work towards the future. Then you've got you and 1 other. That's 60 of those films going out to brand new people. You find 1 more, that's 90. That is duplication. And the good news is you're still only putting 30 films out a month. So you're not worked too hard. If you're on fire right now and you want to step it up, yeah, you could work 20 minutes and send out 4 or 5 per day. Can you imagine the results? So that's why it's really important to have a really nice name list, so you can start going through the process of being consistent every day to get that film out. We also have a goal card. Okay, this is something that we're going to start to introduce, because, you know, the only thing that we can be in control of is what we personally do. But in my experience over the years, that the more people that actually have one of these goal cards filled out and they focus on it, I can then start to count on the results. So if I'm sitting with a brand new person that's never done this before, well, a tempo setter, if we look at the first one, tempo setter, that basically means you register 3 people into your business. Well, if I'm looking at this, I would be asking myself, okay, Jason, how many people can I register this month myself? Well, based on my experience, I'm pretty sure I could do 3 or 4 tempo setters myself, because I've got experience. But if you've never done it before, your first goal could be, I'm definitely going to have a tempo setter, and you tick it in. But as your business starts to grow, we have a group tempo setter. That means you've actually set a goal card with different people in your team, and they've told you how many tempo setters they are going to do. So then you start to understand how many people are going to be joining your business that month. We also have the ACE, sorry, that needs changing. It should say pro leader and executive pro leader. But we can actually start to work out how many of these new levels will be in the business that month. So we can actually start to work on the goals exactly. But this goal card I'm going to change slightly. I didn't realize that was an old level there, but that doesn't matter. It gives you the idea of what we can do with a goal card, because then we know what can happen in the business as it grows. Executive Pro Leader looked something like this. And we spoke about these three teams. So there's you, there's leg 1, there's leg 2, and leg 3. But as we've gone down, we found one person that decided to set a goal to become a pro leader. And we found one here, and we also found one here. So that is the key to getting duplication correctly in your team. So every single one of you right now can start getting into action on working with the education, get into Money Working for You directly and start eating those films. Well, I don't mean eat them. I mean, you know what I mean? Start making use of them properly so you can start working on your list, and definitely get around your pro leader and your executive pro leader and ask them what to do. They will tell you what to do, everything step by step. Okay, guys? So I'll pass it back to you now then, Caddis. Thanks.
Okie dokie, now I found my microphone also. That's good if I want to talk. Thank you very much, Jason. Splendid this is. And I could just say it one more time. It's so important that you connect with the first person that are your pro leader or executive pro leader. And if you don't know that person, please just write a PM to me or Jason and we will find out. So I'm happy that you have been joining us today, and welcome on the next Zoom. So see you later. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Executive Pro Leader looked something like this. And we spoke about these three teams. So there's you, there's leg 1, there's leg 2, and leg 3. But as we've gone down, we found one person that decided to set a goal to become a pro leader. And we found one here, and we also found one here. So that is the key to getting duplication correctly in your team. So every single one of you right now can start getting into action on working with the education, get into Money Working for You directly and start eating those films. Well, I don't mean eat them. I mean, you know what I mean? Start making use of them properly so you can start working on your list, and definitely get around your pro leader and your executive pro leader and ask them what to do. They will tell you what to do, everything step by step. Okay, guys? So I'll pass it back to you now then, Caddis. Thanks.
Okie dokie, now I found my microphone also. That's good if I want to talk. Thank you very much, Jason. Splendid this is. And I could just say it one more time. It's so important that you connect with the first person that are your pro leader or executive pro leader. And if you don't know that person, please just write a PM to me or Jason and we will find out. So I'm happy that you have been joining us today, and welcome on the next Zoom. So see you later. Thank you, Jason.